You know, I had a dream last night. Or was it a dream? I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. Sometimes the dreams just spill out into real life. They're like a fog that won't dissipate. Like you wake up and there's this wetness in the air, and you're not sure if it's from the dream or if you're just still dreaming. I was living in the house I grew up in, which was strange because I wasn't supposed to be there. Not anymore. I was 20, I think. Maybe 21. Somewhere in that confusing stretch of time where you're not really a kid, but you still feel like one. You're someone, but you don't know who yet. But that's the thing, isn't it? You never know who you are. You think you do, but you don't. Anyway, I was there, in that house in the Hamptons, at 3 a.m, an hour that always feels like it's holding something back, like it's the time the world makes its move, when no one's looking. And I was heading upstairs. And when you're in a dream, you walk with a sort of confidence, don't you? It's like the whole thing is a movie, and you're the star, even though you know the plot doesn't make any sense. I could hear sounds coming from my parents' room. Not like normal sounds. Not like, I don't know, parents or sleeping sounds. No. It was something. It was panting. Like someone was riding a bike up a hill. Or maybe someone trying to escape something. Something they couldn't outrun. The kind of breathing that makes your skin prickle because you know it's not the kind of breathing that you're supposed to hear at 3 a.m. in your childhood home. I didn't even think about it. I just kept walking toward the door. Like I had somewhere to be. Like I was going to open it and see something normal. See my parents talking, maybe, or asleep, sipping a cup of coffee. But the closer I got, the more I felt this pull, this gravity, like something was pulling me toward it, toward them. I don't know why. I kept walking, but I did. And when I reached the door, I stopped. I froze, but not like a person who would freeze in fear. No, this was the kind of freeze where your mind can't process what it's seeing, and so it just goes static. It just waits. And there they were, my parents, naked, both of them. And I don't know how to say this, how to explain what I felt, but it was like watching two characters in a play. Not real people, just characters, just figures moving through the motions, like they were playing roles in a story and I was outside of it. But at the same time, I was inside it. I could see them. Them. My parents. And they didn't seem like parents anymore. They were just people having sex. Just two people having sex. I should have felt disgusted, I suppose, but I didn't. Instead, I felt something else, something I couldn't name, something unsettling. I wasn't repulsed by the act. I was confused, lost. There was a certain feeling of betrayal, but not in the way that you'd think. It wasn't betrayal like, oh, they're doing something I didn't know about. No, it was worse than that. It was jealousy. Jealousy of my mother. I was jealous of her, as if it were in competition, as if it were for her attention. But that's ridiculous, right? I mean, it's all ridiculous. But the thing is, it didn't stop there. That's not the weird part. The weird part is how natural it felt. How there was no boundary anymore. Like you reach a point in life where things just dissolve. You don't know what's real and what's not anymore. And maybe you never did. So, I stood there, frozen, until a moment later, Jesus is standing next to me. Standing there, like he had just walked out of a 1950s sitcom, and he's holding a glass of water, pouring it over my head like a sort of impromptu baptism, and he asks me if he can borrow a cup of butter and sugar for a pie he's making. He wants to bake a pie in my childhood home at 3 a.m. And I'm standing there, looking at him, and the absurdity just keeps increasing, piling up, until it's the only thing that makes sense anymore. I didn't ask any questions. I didn't even care. I didn't feel angry or confused anymore. I just nodded. Okay, sure, that makes sense. So I went to my old bedroom. That's what I did. I went to my room, climbed into my bed, pulled the covers up like I was trying to protect myself from something I couldn't name. I thought I could fall asleep. Just shut my eyes. Let the dream finish. But the thing is, that's the trap, isn't it? Dreams don't let you finish them. No, they just keep going. And when I threw the covers off, there it was. Standing in the doorway, the chupacabra. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's a classic one. But no, this was different. This was a chupacabra that had issues. This one, after climbing into bed and practically crawling up on top of me, started giving me a lecture about commitment, about my lack of commitment, about how I can't finish anything I start, how lazy I am, and how I'm a lummox in bed, everything. And what I'm doing during this whole thing? I'm lying there in my bed with this creature, this legend on top of me, and I'm just nodding along like, yeah, just keep talking, keep telling me how I suck, and I'm washing my mouth out with water like it's going to fix it, like that's going to fix anything. And then the chupacabra starts talking about my receding hairline. I kid you not. And you're probably thinking, what's happening here? And I'll tell you, nothing is happening. It's all a joke, a bad one. But the thing is, it's my joke. It's my dream. And it's all so absurd that it doesn't matter anymore. The water's still running. The chupacabra's still on my bed. And there's Jesus probably still waiting for the butter and sugar. I'm not even mad anymore. I'm just tired. Tired of trying to figure out why I'm here, or why anyone is here. Tired of pretending there's some cosmic order to it all, because there isn't. There's just this. Just a looping nightmare with no ending, no meaning, and no way out. But if I could figure it out, if I could wake up from it, maybe I'd ask Jesus for that pie. Maybe I'd ask him if he knew what the hell this was all supposed to mean. But I never get that far. And the water keeps running.